Hey everybody, welcome to Beachbox Radio. My name is Fred Moore. I'm a trainer and personal development coach at Beachbox Gym. Beachbox is located in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and soon coming to a location near you. Beachbox offers cardio kickboxing and strength training, but we are more than just a gym. We are a lifestyle. And Beachbox Radio covers more topics than just working out. Topics range from entrepreneurship, travel, relationships, money, spirituality, history, philosophy to neuroscience. It's dedicated to self-improvement and empowerment, a healthy body and a healthy mind. You can visit beachboxnow.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And best of all, you could come down and visit our location at 1317 Memorial Drive in Asbury Park. You could try out a workout for free and see what we have to offer. You will definitely be surprised when you get here and see just who we are and what we have. And today's show, I just wanted to talk to you about bad habits and what they are and how we can change them or break them. When it comes to bad habits, we all have them. I have them, and there's ones that I've had in the past that were a real bitch to try to break, and sometimes it takes something really big to be able to get you to walk away from that bad habit. I used to smoke cigarettes. I started smoking when I was a teenager, and I got addicted very quickly. And when I made it into my 20s, I had found a way to stop. Now, how long was I smoking for? Less than 10 years. I know there's people out there that are smoking for 20, 30, 40 years. So that's a huge bad habit to break. I understand that. I am friends with people that are still trying to quit smoking to this day. I'm so glad I did quit when I had the chance. But the way it happened for me really was because I got very sick. I had the flu. My chest was all congested. And I just really physically could not smoke. And I was sick for about 2 weeks. And in that 2-week time, I had enough sense to see that I was not smoking and I was actually feeling a little bit better and a little bit better. By the time my health got better, yes, the idea of smoking was still seemed appealing to me, and I guess I was still a little bit addicted to it. But because I had that jump start, it helped me to stop. And I never looked back since then. And it was an awesome feeling to be able to walk away from cigarettes. It was empowering. So I wanted to tell you that story because when you do make up your mind to quit a bad habit and replace it with something good, which is what all the experts say, that's what you're supposed to do. When you do make up your mind to do that and you achieve it, you will feel empowered. And then you'll start looking around for other things, other bad habits that you could break. And this is a key thing that I want you to understand. If there's a bad habit you have and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel, you can't stop snacking on the sweets, you keep procrastinating, you don't do the right things with your money, anything, these things that bother you that you want to change, but you don't seem like you have the ability or the wherewithal or the energy. If you could just listen to this one tip, when you do it and you break that habit, you're going to feel empowered. And it's some really strong, powerful stuff that you're going to feel. I'm telling you right now, You have to just try to break one habit. Just pick something small. Pick something that you could conquer. Don't go for the big one yet. Don't go for the mother of all bad habits. Go for the tiny one. Whatever that little thing is. You know, throwing your socks on the floor at the end of the day instead of putting them in the hamper. Just do that one. Build off of that. Add on to that, and you'll see you're starting to take control. You're starting to do things that are going to make you feel good, and I'm telling you, you will feel empowered. And when that moment happens, you will see the world in a different light. I encourage you to try that out and keep that in mind. Now, I'm always looking for ways to better enhance or
Street for 323 West Jersey Street, cross the Art, West End. Responding code to EMS 7 Engine 8. It's going to be from male outside, having difficulty breathing. Notifying medics.
now I'm always looking to build off of any little bit of success that I can achieve in life. And I'm trying to actually make that a dominating habit, like a good habit. Whenever I have a little bit of success, go for the next thing and build on it, keep building, because those little building blocks of success through your daily life translates to big blocks of success as you go through your weeks, your months, and your years. And I think that we could all use coaching in that area, and we could always use education in that area. I became a life coach recently because I take so much pleasure in just discussing these things. To me, it's not work. It's fun. It's helping people, and at the same time, I'm helping myself, because when you teach something, you're actually doing the best thing for yourself, because it's the ultimate form of learning. So I made that one of my little missions in life, to start becoming a life coach, start helping people with their personal development. And since I'm a personal trainer, I've gotten into these conversations before. And when people ask me for particular advice, I always tell them, you could listen to me, but I'm just telling you what I've learned over life. And a lot of it is from books and other smart people. I direct people a lot when it comes to bad habits. Somebody says to me they can't stop eating the sweets, and that's why they're having trouble losing weight. Because, I'm a personal trainer. I don't want them not losing weight. We need to achieve the goal. So I direct them to a website, jamesclear.com, because I read a whole bunch of stuff on his website. And when it comes to bad habits, I try to actually, go to this website to conquer my bad habits. Whenever I know what to do now, but whenever I choose to change something about myself, I like to reset my thought process by, ground myself and then read something from his website. So under the bad habits section, he basically, this guy believes in taking what's complex and breaking it down to something simple that you could understand, which is somewhat, what everybody who's a consultant or an expert in something does. It's how you take these boggling things that seem so intricate and complicated and saying, okay, look, let's not make it complicated. Let's make it simple. This is it. This, and this. This is what you need to do. And that's one of the biggest things I'm learning right now for myself, is to take complicated things and break it down. And it's one of my cornerstones of my philosophy. There's nothing that's too complicated that you can't make it somewhat simple enough and break it down into something that you can understand. One of the biggest things you could do when it comes to any challenge is break it down so that you can understand it better. And once you have a full understanding of what you're dealing with, like what is a bad habit? Why do I have certain bad habits, but other habits I have, you know, aren't bad? There's a lot of those questions that you can answer, and the best way to answer them is by being honest with yourself, writing down what you feel are your bad habits, and first figuring out why you think you have the bad habit. Then you could research it. And this website is very helpful with that. Now, when it comes to breaking a bad habit, you got to realize that a lot of the times your bad habits, the main cause of them is stress and boredom. Now, if you know that right there off the bat, doesn't that make the whole thing seem a lot simpler to understand and to handle? If you're stressed, you're more likely to exhibit bad habits. And if you're bored, you're more likely to exhibit bad habits. So I could right off the bat tell you, if you're bored, you're probably going to do things like eat cookies or have a drink, smoke, I don't know, whatever, bad habits. You need to keep yourself occupied. And, if you're sitting around bored, to me, there's no excuse for that because there's stuff you could do. If you're tired as hell because you worked all day, you exercised, you ran around with your kids, you made dinner for your family, they all came over for, Sunday gravy or whatever, and you're just beat, but you're like mentally active, but you don't have something to truly stimulate you, then you're liable you're going to grab something that's bad for you. So there's ways around that, like reading, listening to podcasts. Do you like music? If you don't feel like getting up and running around and exercising, maybe grab a guitar. I have a guitar. I do play it. I'm not going to say I play it well, but for my own personal relaxing and enjoying, keeps me occupied, keeps my mind focused on something creative. Yeah, I'll try to learn a song or something. So stress is another issue, and that's a big one for me because when I get stressed out, that's the one thing I like to do is eat. I love to eat. If it's not junk food, it's just I'll eat 5 pieces of chicken breast, with some salt-free seasoning on it, and I'm happy. Or I'll eat a big tub of yogurt. Or now you get into, like I mentioned in the last podcast, I might crush a whole jar of peanut butter, which is not good. So, stress is a tough one, but there's other ways of dealing with stress too. You don't have to eat. You could go for a massage. If you tell your significant other you're stressed out and you'd like to, maybe go for a walk together and talk. Talk about your stress. That way you're alleviating it. You're sharing it with somebody else. Somebody's feeling empathetic and they're taking that on with you. You might go back home and not eat the cookies or smoke the cigarette. You might instead go home and make a nice salad and throw some chickpeas in it and call it a day. So that's what you could do. And the best way to break a bad habit is to substitute with a good habit. So this is an old one that's been around for a long time. I've been hearing that one since I was a kid. I'm sure it's been around forever. Drop a bad habit, pick up a good habit. You don't exercise and you smoke cigarettes, throw the cigarettes away, join a gym. Drop the bad thing, pick up the good thing. And then the other thing is to think about what triggers your bad habit. If you always have to have a cigarette when you're having a beer or two, you just get that urge to smoke. Well, then maybe don't have the beer or two. Stay away from the bar. And in any social situations where people are drinking and you want to be socializing, just have a seltzer or something else. Don't have the drink. Because I mean, as far as drinking is concerned, we all like to have fun. We all like to go out and have a couple. As a fitness advocate, I say socially drinking is fine. If you're overdoing it, that's not good. But if you're smoking because you're socially drinking, then obviously the problem is right there. There's a trigger. So eliminate the trigger. And that goes for any other bad habits. If you're staying up late, and you want to go to bed earlier so you could wake up and feel refreshed instead of feeling tired and shitty the next day, why are you staying up late? A lot of people are either watching TV, they're on their laptop computers, or they're on their phones. And all those things are giving off that light, the blue light that's making you stay awake. So, a lot of people who successfully develop a good habit of going to bed early are people who usually eliminate all these sources of light at the end of the day. Maybe you eat dinner, maybe you watch a show or two with your family, then the TV gets shut off, and maybe everybody grabs a book and reads, or you play a board game. But the one thing you do is you shut off the TV, you shut off the all these electronic devices, or just don't use them, and then you could fall asleep better. And if you're, again, replace the bad habit with a good habit. If you're choosing not to watch TV at 8 o'clock at night, what are you going to do instead? So reading is a good one. Playing a game with your family is really a good one too. Another way to help with bad habits is to join forces with another person. Now, a good example of this is with me and my wife. My wife is also into health and fitness. She's also an instructor, and we both like to eat a certain way. We both like to sleep a certain way. We both like to feel good the next day when we wake up so that we can, basically take the world by storm once again and get out there and just crush all day. So because we both kind of live on that same level, we're able to achieve it better. If my wife, like to stay up late and eat cake all night, maybe I'm going to start doing that. Or at least because she's doing pretty much the same thing I'm doing. It's just easier. It's easier to maintain, cooking food, for instance. I cook up a lot of chicken breasts. We're going to have, 'cause we food prep basically. So whatever I cook, she eats. She makes extra food. It's all from the same concept. We're eating healthier foods. We try to eat organic foods. So whenever she goes shopping for food, it's always the same food. We're always buying the same stuff. We're pretty much on the same page with our diets and our sleep and our routines. And that's a big help. That's a huge help. And building off of that, besides partnering up with somebody, is, surround yourself with people who live the way you want to live. Obviously, if you want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, hit the gym, and do squats, the last thing you need to be doing is hanging around with a bunch of people who stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning drinking and smoking, because you're going to be sleep deprived, you're going to be drinking and smoking, and most likely eating, mozzarella sticks. So, it's a lot easier when your friends and your acquaintances are pretty much going to bed early and waking up early and going into squats. In fact, if you have that type of group that you're surrounded with, you're most likely going to be training with them in the morning. So, there's also an accountability thing at that point. It's like, hey, I got to meet my friends tomorrow. We're going to be training, hitting legs hard and heavy, or we're going to be going and doing that cardio kickboxing class. So guess what? I got to go to bed, because if I don't, they're going to know that I was up late. They're going to know that I'm a slacker. They might give you a hard time. Another way of changing a bad habit, and this is a way to do pretty much everything in life, is to visualize yourself actually succeeding. Anything you do in life, if you visualize it first, and then you keep visualizing it every day, several times a day, repeatedly, over and over again, and you continue to do that, it will start to materialize. Your success will come to the forefront. This is 100% true. I'm not making this up. Athletes do it. Performers do it. There's people that are, on such a high level with a lot of pressure, but they're just regular people like you and me, but they come off so, they're obviously talented, but they still have those same human qualities that we have, where we could be, feel like we're not going to do well. We're scared, or, we're afraid of failure or whatever. So visualization has become a major tool in people's lives, and they learn this by going to see some type of personal development coach, or maybe somebody, maybe they're into meditation and they learn it from the person that teaches them how to meditate. Whatever it is, the idea is that if you keep seeing yourself succeeding, you keep winning, you keep getting to the goal line, then the chances of you actually doing that increase by a huge amount. This goes right in line with thinking with optimism and positivity, as opposed to being a negative person. If you wake up every day and think that your business that you started is going to fail, and that you're going to be bankrupt, then the chances of that actually happening are much higher. So you're doing the same thing. You're just visualizing. So why visualize negative when you can visualize the positive? In fact, it's less energy used, and you're not worrying about, I might not succeed. You're actually seeing yourself winning. You're seeing that bad habit going to the wayside, and you emerging from it a better person. And sorry, I'm just looking at a note I have here. This one I wanted to hit. On this website, I'm going to read it right from the website. He says, use the word but to overcome negative self-talk. It goes on to say, one thing about battling bad habits is that it's easy to judge yourself for not acting better. Every time you slip up or make a mistake, it's easy to tell yourself how much you suck. So whenever that happens, finish the sentence with but. And then he gives an example. Person saying to themselves, I'm fat and out of shape, but I could be in shape a few months from now. I'm stupid and nobody respects me, but I'm working to develop a valuable skill. I'm a failure, but everybody fails sometimes. I love that. I really, really do love that, because you're always going to have that negative self-talk. Certain things just have to happen. The philosophy of like just being like hard ass and saying, well, I'm never ever going to say anything negative in my own head. I'm never going to say negative words about this or that. I am just going to always be positive. It's not going to happen. Trust me, it's not going to happen. You are always going to have these thoughts sneak into your head, and you're going to be like, whoops, I just did negative self-talk. But there's a but. You catch yourself. This but that he says to use catches yourself in the process of the self-talk, the negative self-talk. And when you catch yourself, you're aware now. You're aware that you're doing it. And by saying the next line after, it's a positive affirmation to basically erase that negative thought that you just had. So it's a way to let the natural process of you negative self-talk, your doubt, your fear, of failure, let it happen. Just let it happen. But you catch yourself, and when you catch yourself, you correct it. So, and then the last thing I want to say about this is give yourself a break. Plan for failure. Plan for your streak of 3 weeks of not eating cookies to go to total hell, and you crush a whole box of cookies. Plan for it and give yourself a break and understand we're all human. We're not perfect, and shit happens. So I just wanted to thank everybody for checking out this show today. I really wanted to discuss this bad habit stuff. And before I go, I just wanted to talk to you about the Beachbox Community Partner Program for first responders. I'm a firefighter, and I'm also with Beachbox. And, I came up with the idea that our first responders really should be pretty much encouraged to a great degree to come and exercise and take care of themselves. First responders have a stressful job. Shift work is very tough. We get into bad habits, and it's a good way to correct bad habits by replacing with good habits, right? We just talked about that. So you could join Beachbox for 30% off if you're a first responder. And I encourage everybody who's a first responder to come down. Let us know you're interested. We'll take you through the Beachbox system, show you what it has to offer. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself the most. If you can't take care of other people unless you take care of yourself first. First responders are always putting other people before them, and they're always the last people they take care of, and they pay the price mentally and physically. And I'm encouraging you as a fellow first responder to please do something, exercise, take care of yourselves, and eat better. If you don't join our gym, that's no problem. Just do something somewhere. Even if you just wake up every day and do 100 push-ups and 100 bodyweight squats and eat a salad. Just do that at least. Start replacing the bad habits with the good habits. All right, everybody. I appreciate you listening. I had a lot of fun discussing this stuff today. This is like the stuff I love to talk about. So as you listen to the show and further shows coming up, we're going to get more and more into this. Please send any comments that you want. I encourage questions. I encourage any type of feedback, good or bad, any type of critiquing. I'm looking forward to it. And if you ask a really awesome question, I will send you a free gift wherever you are, as long as it's not outside of the U.S. So, once again, thank you, everybody. Beachbox Radio, signing off. Peace.